The real reason of censorship in the Reignited trilogy has been revealed. Let's find out! What's up guys, Canadian Guy here, and back with an interesting video that is gonna blow some of your socks off. See, there was a video that was recently dropped by a YouTuber by the name of Rakrox. See, this lucky dude here was able to interview employees from Toys for Bob and Sanzaru. However, due to the nature of these interviews, he could not reveal the names of those he talked to. So, he released a 20-minute video talking about everything he found out about the development of the Reignited trilogy. Now, before I get into the video myself, I contacted him and had a small chat, and everything seems legit and he seems like a real nice guy. I also asked if I could talk and expand about a certain subject that he talked about in this video because it struck me as shocking and changes the whole perspective of a certain situation that happened while Reignited was being developed. He agreed, and everything is kosher between us. The 20-minute video that I mentioned is in the description below, and I highly suggest you check it out after this video because it goes really deep in the development. But I don't want to say what's in it because I don't want to spoil his video because it's simply fantastic. I can't recommend it enough. So, remember the censorship of Reignited? The AK-47s being changed to goo guns, certain names being changed, and many other little things from the 90s that were changed that could be seen as offensive? Yep, I'm digging this issue back up, and trust me, there's a reason why. Before the game came out and during our initial playthroughs, many of us argued and screamed that at least some of these censorships were unnecessary and way too overprotective. Right away, people used this against Toys for Bob as a beating stick on them. Well, I'm here to inform you that according to Rakrox's video, Toys for Bob originally planned to bring the game over one-to-one, no censorship at all. This struck me as a surprise when I first heard this. So, alright, then obviously it was Activision, right? Activision came in and demanded everything to be kid-friendly and all the edginess to be removed. That's what everyone else would assume. But in actuality, that's not what happened either. While, yes, it was Activision's call to censor and change some of the stuff, it was actually ordered by the ESRB. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In the early workings of the game, the ESRB told Activision that if they wanted to keep the game at least an E10+, they would have had to remove the guns and censor some of the edgier stuff that popped up in the previous games. This literally blew my mind. The ESRB deemed that this game would have been rated T for teen if they kept some of these references. Now, some of you might be still upset and say, well, why didn't they just spring for the T rating? Well, that might be an issue for Activision. See, something that we have observed is that Activision seems to have a rule or quota. Each year they have to release at least one kid-friendly game. One game that almost anyone at any age can play. Activision was releasing new Skylander games every year, and when that stopped, they brought out Crash Bandicoot, then Spyro the following year. And now, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is coming this year. Every year has been at least one game that's deemed okay for kids. That's a new title. If the game hit a T rating, then it's not entirely a kid-friendly game anymore. Now is it? On top of all that, the amount of headaches that would have happened from keeping these things uncensored in terms of a PR nightmare in the kind of world that we live in today, it would not have been worth it to Activision. Also, the games were originally rated E for everyone, so they might have been wanting to keep that rating across the board in terms of remasters. But the original intentions were to keep it one-to-one, until, like I said, the ESRB stepped in and kind of ruined the party. Do I agree with all the censorships? No. However, can I understand them with the information of how the ESRB handled the rating of the game? Absolutely. Now, there were other things that were changed, like the ammo used in the cannons in Dino Mines. As you can see, they changed from bullets to sausages? Why, you might ask? Well, according to Rakrox, this change was made preemptively before being sent to the ESRB because they didn't want to get sent back and declined for an E rating as they were running out of time to get the game done. But if there was some form of consolation to this change, one thing that an employee thought was going to get slammed was the fact that this cannon is coming out of the dinosaur's, Yeah. Now, I'm not saying as a tongue-in-cheek joke that they made the ammo sausages because of this reason, as it's not confirmed, but, you know, it just seems a little convenient. But this raises a question in my mind. Why was it that Pinstripe's Tommy gun was okay for the ESRB and the other dinos having pistols, but these other automatic weapons weren't? According to the employees, they didn't know why either. It doesn't really make sense to anyone else except the ESRB apparently. Now, this raises a deep political issue in my mind, and possibly a flaw within the ESRB that gives them control over aspects of other games based on their views and opinions, as the ESRB is not a government body, but a privately self-regulated body. But that is a can of beans that might be open in a future video, as that goes a little too deep. I wanted to make this video to show that these choices that were made were not entirely cut and dry just for censorship. The ESRB were the ones that ordered for the game to be censored, or else the rating of the game would be bumped up and missing Activision's quota. Now, the ESRB also might be the reason why a feature that was heavily requested and screamed for did not make it into the game. What feature? Well, you're gonna have to check out Rackrox's video to find out. I'm not gonna spoil it. Thanks again to Rackrox for letting me to use some of the information from his video with his very private and hush-hush information about the development of the comeback of the Purple Boy. Go check out his video in the description below to hear more about what happened. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra.